All right guys, we're working on boat stuff today. So me and the gang have always wanted to do a poker run out on the lake. A poker run is basically where a group of people with really nice and fast boats go all around the lake on a day and have a fun time. We've only been able to watch them from shore because we didn't really have a boat that you could do a poker run in. All right guys, status update. We have broken down. We might not have hydro locked, we might have fuel locked it at this point. Maybe. Oh, dude, is that water?
That's water.
Oh no!
Oh,
there it is. No!
There it is.
Dun, dun, dun. You see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
like a bellows.
Yeah, it's not good.
No.
Ricky's giving up on the boat, and Diana is trying to fix it with zip ties. But in the corner of the yard, for the past 7 years, there's been a boat rotting away. We're gonna try and get it running just enough that we can try to do this poker run in August. We're not restoring it, we're just gonna try to get it to run. So here's the quick backstory on the boat. It's a 1977 Hawaiian Jetboat. It's got a Berkeley jet pump sticking out the back. It's got no engine. Me and the guys bought this in 2017. What we wanted to do is build a boat that we could take 800 miles down the Red River and make it to the ocean. And that's still a challenge that we want to do one day, but we'll put that to the side for now. The important part is we started to work on the boat in 2017, and just a couple months later, Jeff, JT, and I burnt the race car down at the Big Bend Open Road Race. And after that, all the money we had to go into restoring the Camaro, and the boat got pushed into the corner of the yard, and that's where it's sat the past 7 years. I did find some video from back then, I think filmed with a GoPro Hero 3, and you can kind of carbon date how old this is by looking at Cody's beard. It wasn't even a beard back then, just a little goatee. It can happen.
Well, I'm not the world's most physical guy, but once you squeeze me tight, you nearly broke my spine.
It's got a nice 70s, 80s tape player in here. We've got a lot of selections of tapes that we've found. Check it out. We've got mix from 6/4 of 1999 on the good old 88.1, whatever that is. Yeah, there's some interesting tracks on here. BB King, Moonlight and Roses. That doesn't sound good. I'm sure since the 70s, a lot of interesting things have happened on this boat. All right, we've got an ancient first aid kit. Ooh, Tylenol from 1982, it expired. Maybe we can take those sometime and see what happens. Random pills. Ooh, no clue what that is. When I say this is gonna be a junkyard build, I'm serious. We're not gonna restore this boat and put a ton of money into it right now. We just wanna get an engine in it, a couple seats, and that's it. We're not even gonna fix the hole in the floor in the back. If we actually get this thing to run and they let us do the poker run in it, it's gonna have to be the crappiest, most redneck piece of crap boat that's ever done a poker run. Guaranteed. The boats that go past every year, they're at least $1 million, half of them. Some are canopied, full race boats. There we go. There's a non-budget boat. Nice fountain. Fountain twin engine. Cody, why doesn't your boat sound like that? That sounds good.
I'm telling you, put exhaust on it.
Let's put some exhaust on this.
I think we need to add a second engine though too.
Yeah, we need to add a second engine too, Cody. I want to see him do a burnout. That's a good looking boat. So we do have an engine for the boat. This was in our Camaro open road race car, and it last ran in 2014. And in that race, it pushed the car to about 170 miles an hour. And you want to lean it out. You want to take that chance to ride the Lightning and get some more speed?
We can definitely.
Or do you want to leave it at 10-8-1 and diesel across the line?
We can do more than 170. I know for fact.
car started to overheat, the radiator opening was too small, and at about 115 miles into that race, the water temperature got to 260 degrees, the ECU pulled timing out, and we kind of just sputtered to a stop 4 miles from the finish line. But after the race was over, we let the engine cool down and it fired right up and it was fine. But we pulled it out because we wanted to go faster. We put a new engine in the car. And this has been sitting in the corner of the shop for 10 years, just waiting for something to do. So what is it? It's a 1999 LS1 out of a Camaro. Whenever you hear someone talk about doing an LS swap, it could be any of like 100 different engines over the past 25 years. But the LS moniker started with this guy here. This is the OG. It's got heads and a cam and an intake, and it dynoed about 410 horsepower in the Camaro through the transmission and everything. So without that, it might be maybe 480 horsepower, maybe 500 if we're lucky. And that kind of horsepower should push that big jet boat out of the water pretty good. Not sure how fast it'll go, we'll find out. And I actually ordered the jet boat aluminum motor mount plates for it. And the rest of the kit is somewhere in these tubs back here. I have no idea what's in there because it was 7 years ago. Here is what I've found so far in the tubs. Got a brand new automatic bilge pump, so that'll come in handy. And then here is the tub of Burn Camaro race parts. So here is the old PCM that ran this engine when it was in the race car. Still got the burnt wiring on there, but this should still work. So I think there's our PCM. The alternator, I don't think that's gonna work. It looks like it got burnt a little too much there. So that's gonna be the only accessory that we need on the engine. So crankshaft balancer will drive the alternator, and that's it. The water going through the engine will come from the jet pump. So that's kind of nice. There's less accessories to worry about. Here's the valley cover. Yeah, we wrote checkers or wreckers. Big Bend Open Road Race 2017. Yeah, the wiring harness, there's not much of that that's any good, so we're gonna have to get a new wiring harness. Coils, okay. These coils might work. They look a little crispy. We'll put coils in the maybe pile. Old plug wires, yeah, those are pretty much shot. We found a couple good things in that first tub, but the rest of the jet pump and jet boat are somewhere in here, so we'll see what else we can find. Yeah. All right, exhaust. Okay. Find this tub is gonna be our winner for the jet pump parts. Yeah. Yeah, boy. Here's the old Berkeley. I think I found everything boat related in the tubs back here, so let's go through it. A lot of this was donated by JT back in the day. He's the only one of us that ever owned a jet boat and knows anything about them. This is all kind of new to me, so comment if you've ever had one and have suggestions as we go through this over the months, because I'm learning just like a lot of people probably are. JT did donate a rebuild kit for the jet pump because we were gonna do that. Got a gigantic bearing, no clue where that goes. He also donated some nice 4-inch exhaust tips with the flappers in there. So those are nice, definitely use those. I did find the transom plate. Got the nice Berkeley written on there. Looks like it's from the 70s for sure. The jet pump is all mostly here. It does have a diverter, place diverter in the back so that you can angle the jet stream and help the boat plane out. That's the reverse bucket there, so that's still there, that's good. Here is the biggie here. JT donated these manifolds. They're exhaust manifolds for a boat, but the important thing is they're for an LS engine. And just as a quick side note, the houseboat restoration is going good. I'm doing a lot of fiberglass grinding, as y'all know. I ordered a bulk package of 100 bunny suits because I'm going through them basically one a day when I go out there, just getting covered in fiberglass. So that stuff's kind of boring right now to film, so once we get to something more fun, we'll get a video on the houseboat. I did find this old life jacket in one of the tubs. It's one of those auto inflatable ones, and it doesn't work. So here's where you're supposed to pull and this thing airs up, and it says service if red, and it's red, and it doesn't work. So, curious, any of you guys know how these work? Can you service these? Why did it just die from sitting in a tub? So here's where we wanted to start on the exhaust. This is where we left off years ago. The problem is this is a fuel-injected engine and we really need O2 sensors in the exhaust stream so that we can tune the engine, monitor how it's running. From the factory, marine manifolds like this, they don't come with a provision for an O2 sensor because the tune is set from the factory. Boat dealers don't care if you're able to tune your engine or not. So I drew this monstrosity up in Fusion 360 and 3D printed it out. It's an adapter, and what it would do is convert this rectangular exhaust port to a round 3-inch exhaust port. And then it's also got a provision for an O2 sensor. And it's water cooled, so the water coming out of this would flow through the block. And then that would let us bolt on our normal round stainless tubing that would go to the back of the boat. So we're gonna build these out of chunks of raw aluminum. We're gonna machine them on the cheapo CNC router, but I'm gonna save that for the next video. I'm gonna try to get these out more often so you guys can follow along with the projects instead of just waiting every 2 months for one big video. So anyway, appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Go watch another video. We'll see y'all next time.